Greetings to my team of 144, all Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Wayshowers. Today is 5/24/2019, May 24th. Many energetic waves coming in the last few days. Many people experiencing Ascension symptoms, from ringing in the ears to flu-like intense fevers, chills, vertigo. The list goes on and on. The Schumann resonance has been spiking. The weather has been acting weird. We've been getting record numbers of rain. Yesterday was a major downpour. I know around the country, in the U.S. at least, many tornadoes. I think in one day, a couple days ago, 60 tornadoes were recorded touching down. So these energies, as they're ascending, shifting, rising, they're manifesting in many different ways in our physical body and then in Gaia's physical body. They mirror each other. So as we uplift, the earth lifts up with us, and as Gaia lifts up, we also lift up with her. Many codes coming in through today, this morning. 33, 64, 36, 73, 77, 333. Many synchronicities are happening in the field. So I got my new mic here, the Yeti. So let me know if the sound quality is better here. Hopefully we don't blow this mic up with our intense frequencies. So I'd like to thank everyone for connecting with me, sharing their stories in the comments. Thank everyone for their support in the mission with the Ecuador Healing Retreat Center. I appreciate each and every one of you. So last night I had the pleasure to spend some time with two amazing creatures, two barred owls. That's B-A-R-R-E-D. They were at a local preserve nature center. Seems like this mic's very sensitive, so it picks up a lot of sound. You might even hear the cooing of my neighbor's pigeons flying around outside my window. So these barred owls, they had some babies hatched this year. I didn't get to see them, but they are amazing creatures. They're magnificent. They have magnificent piercing black eyes that just pierce into your soul. They are beautiful creatures. Once I edit the images, I'll post them on one of my future videos. So yesterday I talked a little bit about lucid dreaming and the assemblage point through the teachings of Don Juan, through Carlos Castaneda and his books. I believe he put out 9. I read them years ago. And lucid dreaming is when you wake up in a dream, in your dream state, when you're sleeping at night, and realizing that it is a dream, and bringing your waking consciousness into that dream world, and then navigating that realm fully conscious. And the technique that I spoke about that was taught was where you look at your hands throughout the day, and then you ask yourself, am I dreaming? Intermittently throughout the day you could do that. Look at the palms of your hands and ask yourself, is this a dream? Am I dreaming? And then you program yourself as you're drifting off to sleep at night, as you're laying in your bed. You say to yourself, when I look at my hands, I will know that I'm dreaming. You repeat that over and over until you fall asleep. Some people even make recordings. There's many techniques on how to wake up in your dreams, how to lucid dream. Some people will record their own voice so that about every 20 minutes it'll say, "You are dreaming," or "This is a dream," or "Look at your hands," those kinds of things. So when you're asleep, you have your headphones on and you're playing them through. You can record it on your phone. While you're in that dream state, you'll hear your own voice, and it'll be a cue to actually look at your hands. Now, this could take you a week practice to achieve a lucid dream. It could take weeks. It took me several months. And at that time, it was about 20 years ago. It took me 3 to 6 months to successfully do it. But I was very stubborn at that time. And with these energies coming in, I'm sure it won't take you that long. Because part of this ascension process is tapping into those deeper states of consciousness, those deeper states of awareness. And the worlds are merging, the timelines are merging, and the veil is thinning. The veil between this side and the other world, the other side, what we call the other side, or higher dimensions. The veil is thinning, the veil is lifting. The separation program is ending. So, I also spoke of the assemblage point, Don Juan Matu, who was a Toltec. The Toltecs were the dreamers of Central and Mexico, Central America, the Toltecs. And they had many dreaming practices, and also there was stalking energy, which is bringing back energy that's been drained or lost in the past, and building up the chi, building up the energy in the now, in the present time, to help with things such as bilocation, astral travel, lucid dreaming. So there's this concept of the assemblage point where the seer, or the shaman, the sorcerer, the man or woman that taps into the source to manifest into this realm, to shift awareness, he or she could, with their energy body, can move another's assemblage point. And that's a point the seer or the shaman they call brujo, which is male, or bruja in Spanish, which is like a sage, shaman, magician, sorcerer. And they could see that the form, the true physical avatar, is a luminous sphere. And the sphere has billions and trillions of filaments, like threads of light, that form this sphere, that wrapped around each other, and they merge in the back of this egg-type spherical sphere, luminous sphere. It's like a black, they see it as like a dark spot on the back of this luminous white sphere. And with certain techniques and with their energy body on certain apprentices or students, they can move it slightly, and that assemblage point is what holds our world together, our internal map of reality. It's part of that assemblage point, our mundane routine system. So the shaman will say, to help shift that assemblage point, it helps to break routines, because our routines are what hold this world together, hold the matrix together. And as part of the programming, as part of the sentence, as part of the cage of the caged human animal. And as we break these routines and shift our awareness, shift that assemblage point, that's when we're like a bird that's released from the cage. When we fly free. So one of the most powerful ways to shift the assemblage point excuse me, the throat chakra is opening here. Many energies are coming in right now. One of the most powerful ways to shift the assemblage point is to still the mind. It's the power of silence. In the Taoist arts, we practice something called dark retreat, where I've done a 24-hour dark retreat where you could stay in a room that's pitch black. You have to block the windows, but many of the students, teachers, masters will do it in a cave. We'll meditate in a cave for 24, 48, a week, sometimes up to a month or two. I've heard of some disciples, students, teachers that will do it for 6 months to a year. And there's a tribe in, I think, South America that they spend most of their time in the cave and only come out once a year. It's a certain tribe. I can't remember the name of it. And then the Essenes, also, the Jewish sect that Yeshua Christos was supposedly a disciple of or teacher of the Essene arts. They had their own version of rainbow body, and there was a technique they used on their disciples to awaken the pineal gland by keeping someone in a cave and then exposing them to the bright sunlight, the morning light, after several days of darkness. And in the meditative state, when you get as still as you can, still the mind, go into that still center, the assemblage point can shift to a new awareness, to a new awakening. And this is happening naturally. It's not as solid. It's starting to fluctuate, and that's part of this ascension. That's how we jump timelines too, is that assemblage point moves. It has to just move a hair's distance, microscopic distance, to shift to a different timeline, or a parallel timeline, whatever you want to call it. Because in quantum physics we say that there are infinite timelines, infinite universes, infinite dimensions, and you exist in all those dimensions here now throughout eternity. So as our awareness becomes still, we start opening our third eye, our crown chakra, the chakras start opening up, and we shift into that still space where all things are possible, where we can tap into our full potential, where we can realize our gifts, where we can manifest our gifts, called siddhas or siddhis. And this is going to happen naturally as these waves come in. Today on the 24th, we're getting more plasma waves. 25th, a full portal will be opening. And this will all shift throughout the next couple months and into August. August 15th is a key date. That's the reunion of the harmonic convergence in, I believe, 1987. So it's the 30... Where are we at? Everything's becoming so spatial, so it's like 32 years, I believe. 32 year reunion. So let us know in the comments below this video what you're experiencing here. I'm going to read an update from Aluna Ash and then a transmission from Anastasia Campos from the Blue Beyond Guide. This is from Aluna Ash 9D, and this is from yesterday, the 22nd, I believe. Today is a galactic activation portal and day 2 of the new 13-day red moon wave spell within the last week of the 11th moon. Red moon connects to this current galactic year, red cosmic moon, which is about purification, emotional transcendence. Cosmic is tone 13, the sun, father masculine archetype, and the moon, mother feminine archetype. The increase in solar activity is still being felt. These galactic activation portals help to integrate cosmic time with linear time. Dream state and astral clearing can be extra active, so if your body is saying, I need sleep or rest, listen. We are wrapping up the last 10 to 11 months this week. The moon is waning, so it is a time of reflection and heightened psychic sensitivity. We also have a buildup of energy coming with Neptune, Jupiter, and Mercury in a T-square on 5/27 after the galactic activation portals 5/23 to 5/24 until the new moon in Gemini 6/3, which is June 3rd. So the desire for change will be strong, mostly internal, felt due to the moon phase. Patience and discipline will be needed for change and hidden potential to come to the surface. The next wave will be hitting as the 12th moon cycle begins around the 30th. 5/23 portal is connected to Mercury and the moon. 5/24 portal is connected to Venus and the moon. That's from Aluna Ash. And this transmission is from Anastasia Campos from the Blue Beyond Guide, posted May 22nd. New birthing stage emerging from a closed chrysalis state. Perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses as though you are emerging from a long sleep. Great Awakener, you are not without power. New beginnings, new union with higher self, the divine. This is the new light paradigm update from May 22nd, 2019. Also from Anastasia Campos. Dear Ascending Earth Masters, I was divinely guided to runes for us today. Let me share a little from them. Remember to take your time and feel deeply. Disruption, elemental power, which is change, freedom, invention, and liberation. A pressing need with the psyche to break free from the constricting identification with material reality. And part of this freedom, change, and liberation is us merging, reconnecting with our higher self, our highest self, that which is one with the great mystery, source, divine creator, mother, father, God. Elemental disruption of events totally beyond your control. Expect disruption, the great awakener. Perhaps you will experience gradual feeling of coming to your senses as though you're emerging from a long sleep. Then again, the onset of power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security or understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships or beliefs. You are not without power in the situation. Your inner strength, the will you have funded until now in your life, provides support, guidance at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. The more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you do indeed grow. We have made a quantum jump, a quantum leap, and it was shared through the soul and the spirit. Some souls are feeling the change, freedom, invention, and liberation, yet while other souls are in the process of disruption of a great awakener for what they previously knew as their reality, and this can be in many or all ways in one's life. With others close to us, we are needing to step back from all as we each go through what we need to. We may see or feel others going through this severe disruption for themselves again. This can be in many different ways. We do not judge or criticize, yet we encourage with unconditional divine love for them and all they are going through. While we adjust to their and our own spaces, we are each feeling, and we honor this for each and every soul. As with this recent quantum jump leap, many more will realize in the future just how very big this has been for us all. New beginnings, akin to the moon, the intuitive part of your nature, with its urge to harmonize and adjust in the sphere of personal relationships. The completion of beginnings may mark a time of joyful deliverance, of a new life, a new path, great power. You now have the strength to achieve completion, resolution from a new beginning. You must fertilize the ground for your own deliverance. Signals your emergence from a closed, chrysalis state. As you resolve and clear away the old, you will experience a release from tension and uncertainty. The time of birth is always a critical one. You may be required to free yourself from a rut. Habit or relationship, some activity that was quite proper to the self, you are leaving behind. Enter the delivery room now. Being center, grounded, freeing yourself from all unwanted influences and seeing the humor, you are indeed prepared to open yourself to the will of heaven. Await your deliverance with calm certainty. This speaks for itself and flows beautifully from the first rune sharings. Partnership, a gift, an indication that partnership is in some form is at hand. In partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union, for true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. The path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union, union with the higher self, union with the divine, the realization of the divine in all things. This has no reverse, for it signifies the gift of freedom with the flow of all other gifts. Notice it mentions a new union with the higher self and the divine, and we need to do so separately, yet yes, we are one. Separately with our union with our higher self, the divine, which is a divine personal connection of our own sacred space. As we have made a quantum jump, leap, recently, and we are in a new birthing stage emerging from a closed chrysalis state, a gift of freedom from the old for those who have worked through so very diligently and pushing through so much of the old collapsed timelines. Focus on you, yourself, as others will shine in their own time, as that is between them and the divine and their soul contracts that they chose in being here. That is out of our hands. Shine on, spiritual warriors of peace and freedom. A new peace and freedom, as we would not be going through or doing this if we were not going to be rewarded for all of our hard efforts, as we are part of a new ascension for and with humanity. Addendum: for those who are seeking further on from this extreme range and anger flushing through when one feels and releases this from all we have recently been through, and this is with others as well. As many of us feel so deeply as empaths with for others, we have a close relationship with, as blue rays, starseeds, we feel deeply to transmute. So please be aware of this and go with this, feel this, release this by acknowledging these feelings as they shift, pass through, as then we can release them further with and for others. That will enable a further level step of peace for ourselves, again with others, yet ultimately for with ourselves, as we clear not only in with our soul, yet also our spirit higher self realm of energies, new union with our higher self, the divine. As always, I am right here with you. You are masters, you are ascending, and we are gathering. Much unconditional love, truth, and honesty. Anastasia Campos. Also, this weekend it's been reported that a massive asteroid will be passing close to the Earth, and it's so big that it has its own moon trailing behind it. So these energies, that's going to be part of this evening and tomorrow, the 25th, as these massive waves come in. This asteroid and moon passing by will cause a ripple effect through these plasma waves coming in, which will multiply and magnify all that we are feeling and going through. So also it was just shared with me from Sherry Tapscott that there was just there was a massive spike in the Schumann resonance. I was trying to see here when that occurred, but it doesn't look like it has a time stamp on it. So these are happening. We've been holding steady at like the 40 hertz mark in the upper range of the Schumann frequencies, the Schumann resonance, the resonance of the Earth. So this is part of the energies coming in, part of what you're feeling, what you're going through, and these energies. So please share in the comments below how you're feeling today, what you're experiencing. If you had any experiences in the dream realm last night, there was something else I wanted to share from the higher realm, which just totally escaped me, but that's part of this spatialness of what we're going through. And I know many of you experience that. You have a train of thought, and you're speaking, and then all of a sudden the mind just goes blank, and the energies just totally disappear. So thank you all for joining me today. I wanted to thank everyone that has joined our CBD business to raise funds for the Ecuador Healing Retreat Center and Sustainable Community. You can check out more information on that on primedisclosure.com. You can connect with other Starseeds and Lightworkers in our chat room, primedisclosure.com/chat. You can just create any username. We're up to 192 members on our CBD team, the CBD business. You can join us at cbdpeaceoil.com, and there's a link in the description below this video. So thank you all for connecting with myself and my team. Thank you for sharing your stories, sharing your love, your light, your beauty and truth. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a beautiful and blessed day. I love you all. Namaste.